Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Layton. Thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time with me, this is an energy update where I tune into the energies of the week ahead and channel any sort of important messages and insights and intuitive nudges that I receive from my guides to you. So this week we have this beautiful energy following up from last week, all surrounding our dreams, all surrounding our belief systems, and how to really propel this forward momentum that we are trying to cultivate. So we're going to be learning a lot about owning our power. We're going to be learning a lot about believing in ourselves and truly conquering any of the challenges that are holding us back from fully being in our bliss. So let's dive in, my friends. We have a real strong first line, which is make your own decisions. The first line, make your own decisions. Have faith. Believe in the best case scenario. What would you do if you knew there would be no failure, no obstacle, no goal? Take the pressure off. Live in the wings. And this is where they were kind of showing me angels' wings, and they're humming around and you being held by these angel wings. So it's almost like this surrender to the higher power. You are safe, and you are beloved. For you are vital to God and to those around you. So keep your head up. This too shall pass. Strife and unawares, this aloof energy of life. Have faith. Everything is going to be all right. So have joy. Eat well. Nourish and flourish. Paint and live free. Flow with the ever-flowing tapestry of all life has to offer. Okay, so I thought this was beautiful because we're really getting this amazing, almost like pep talk this week of like sitting yourself down and going, okay, what is really holding me back from believing? What is really holding me back from truly going all in on myself? And where do I need to cut ties with confusion? And this almost like, they're kind of showing me this aloof energy where it's just like, I don't know, and I'm just going to be up in the clouds and I don't know where to touch down. I think I feel safer just floating above. So they're kind of showing me this little like transient energy going back and forth and back and forth. And I don't know where I want to be rooted. And they're just kind of showing me it's time to now make a choice. It's time to plant your roots. It's time to believe. It's time to start building this new foundation. And to do that, you must make a choice. So they're showing me that a lot of us, once more, have been caught up in what is the right thing to do, as opposed to what is your heart and even your body telling you what to do. Because when we go into the soul, when we go to that heart and we go to even our physical vessels, the answers are already there. And it's so funny because we're so in our mental capacities, we're so in our mental energy that we forget to balance this out. So if you've been confused, the only reason you are confused is because you are in your mental energy. You are forgetting to be grounded. You are forgetting to go to your heart. You are forgetting to go to your soul. So it's now time to come back into those spaces of yourself and get the clarity. So I love how the first message that came through this week was make your own decisions. So you have to cut ties to what everyone else thinks. You have to cut ties to even your best friend's thoughts, your husband's thoughts, your partner's thoughts, your family's thoughts, your past and how it affected you. All of these outer influences, fear of judgment, like any of these things that hold you back or put you back in a space of confusion, you need to cut strings to this week. So they're really being very, very upfront. What do you want? And how can you become very grounded in this decision of what that is? So take time this week to sit with yourself, to soul search, to go into the body, and that's where the clarity will come. So a lot of us, once more, we've been back and forth, and now it is time, my friends, to make a very clear-cut decision. What are you wanting? What are you building? How can you start becoming very aligned in your energies to attract this beneficial outcome for yourself? So if you've also become more aware of your energies, and this is something that has been coming through a lot lately about this law of attraction, and what your vibration is what you're going to be pulling in. You have to start recognizing what you have manifested already for yourself in your life. And when you take ownership and you take your power back, you start realizing you can change it. So if there's anywhere in your life that is in disarray, if there's anywhere in your life that you do not like, and maybe it's been very loud, maybe it's been like, here I am, and it's really bothering you, it's because you're not listening, you're not seeing it. So this week, have the courage to see what you have been avoiding, what is bothering you, and have the courage to say no more, to start making a plan to change this in your life, which means changing your need for it, changing your energy for it. So if you have attracted it into your life, what has made you need to attract it? Is it a belief, right? For most of us, it will be. It'll be a belief that you have to overextend, to overgive, or bend in your authenticity in some way. So this is where it's very important to once again go in and go, okay, where have I been bending? Where have I been unnecessarily giving of myself, of things that I don't really want to do? Or where have I been too flexible? And now I need to be very, very aligned with who I am, what I want, and every decision must mirror my respect for myself. So they're just showing me this newfound power this week that we're all gathering and we're grasping and we're gripping into this week to make our own decisions. So no more outsourcing. No more looking outside of you for the answers or the signs. They're kind of showing me like the universe has given you enough clarity. They're kind of showing me all the arrows being pointed, and it's like, you know what direction you want to go. But now it's time for action. So get very, very clear. Make that decision and commit. So once more, they're showing me fear wanting to sabotage us. So don't listen this week. If fears come in, it's time to say no, to put them into their place, because a lot of us have come to this point in our evolution and in our journey of like, we've worked enough with our shadows to know what our triggers are, to be aware of what those emotions are, and now it's time to just stop partaking in it. So once you've understood your shadow, once you've really worked with those emotions and you've heard them out, you've accepted them, they're almost showing me these intrusive thoughts that come in, and it's like you don't have to entertain them anymore, okay? You've done enough of that healing work. You can now acknowledge it and set it free. So that's what they're urging us to do this week, is these fears might come in. You can't do it. You're not capable. This isn't going to work out. Your past history has been this, so don't do anything that gets you out of safety. All of those little stories might come up when you start really becoming aware of what you want and how to move towards your dream, because your dream will trigger you. Your dream is specially designed to help expose your greatest wounds. Maybe it's visibility wounds. Maybe it's fear of judgment. Maybe it's fear of being fully yourself. Whatever this is, it's going to magnify it. So be very aware when you make your decision. Be prepared. There's going to be triggers. There's going to be hardships. So that is why you must decide now to go all in on yourself. So they're showing me a ring on it. Commit. Commit to yourself. Commit to your dream. Commit to your story of life. Okay? So we can't be writing two stories at the same time. We want one book, one story. So choose. Okay, so have faith, believe in the best case scenario. What would you do if you knew there would be no failure? So once again, this right away tells me there's a fear of failure. There's a fear that things will not work out. Okay, so this is where we have to allow ourselves to go into the opposite perspective of like, okay, what if it does work out? What if it actually does? And what if here I am teetering back and forth all this time, wasting time not going in on this when it could work out, right? So it's time to look at an alternate perspective. It's time to start believing. And I love how they said, what would you do if there was no obstacle and no goal? So I thought this was interesting that they specifically said no goal. So what does that mean? When we remove the specifics, so say your goal is, I'm going to build this empire, okay? Well, that's the goal. However, what if you remove the goal completely and just explored your bliss, right? So let's remove the pressure. Let's remove the pressure of needing to build an empire. Let's go 24 hours. What's the next 24 hours for you? And how can you start moving into that energy? Because they're kind of showing me some of us need small steps so we don't get overwhelmed. So it's like, yeah, maybe you've seen this vision. You're going to have this empire. Amazing. However, if we get so attached to that outcome, we kind of lose what's happening in the present. When we're so focused on one fixed destination, we don't see that there's multiple ways to get there. Sometimes they're showing me someone nose to the ground where it's just like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're building, blah, 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 blah. They're like, oh my God, stop making such a huge plan. It's time to release the plan. It's time to get centered on the feeling. It's time to get centered on the bliss, on the feelings that you feel as you are building this. Because they're kind of showing me the key here is the more you're in your bliss, the more those opportunities are just going to show up, are going to just be there. And you won't have to work toward it. It's going to be easy. So they're showing me once again the power of vibration, the power of energy, and where we are so stuck in the power of the mind that we're forgetting the power of everything else. So take a back seat this week to your mind. Stop letting your mind run the show for once and let your heart lead. Let your energy, your emotions lead. Ooh, this feels good. So I'm going to lean into this. This feels right. So I'm going to lean into this. And they're like 24-hour increments. What can you do within this next 24 hours that fills the cup, that helps you work towards the vibration of what you want to be in? Because they're showing me once again, once you're in the vibration of bliss and love and happiness and joy, you're complete. You no longer are grasping or driving for something. You are in it. You're experiencing it. So they're like, once again, we had this very important energy update a few weeks ago that was a huge reminder of like, why you're unhappy is because you are missing the point. You are missing the present moment. So we needed this very apt reminder to, we are building our future right now. So if you're in the energy of, I need, I must have, I must build, I must work, that is what you're broadcasting. And that is what is going to continue to attract into your future. So if you want a future of peace, of bliss, of love, of ease and grace, then those are the energies you need to be pulling in right now. You need to be experiencing right now. So take all the pressure off of, I'll build this, then I get to experience the bliss, and go, no, I get to experience the bliss now and choosing it now. So this whole making it a decision of what you want, it applies to right now, to the present moment, to the next 24 hours. What do you want? Be in it. Okay? This is what's so important, and that's what's so beautiful, because the next channeling was beheld. Okay? Live in the wings. Now, I thought this was really interesting because they didn't just say, oh, rest in the wings or take a minute to be in the wings. It's like live in the wings. So that translates to full surrender. Okay? Live in the wings. Live in the feeling of being held, supported, loved, and carefree right now. Live that way. Okay, so how can you live in this energy of surrender? Trust. It's going to be hard for some of us. They're showing me someone who's so like, pick. I need to pick at everything. I need to make everything perfect. I need to have everything aligned. I need to blah, 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 blah. They're like, whoa, monkey mind. Slow down. Relax. Let go. Play. Surrender. Bliss. Remember that? That's what you're trying to work towards anyway. Do it now. So they're showing me once again this ease of transition. As opposed to fighting for change, you're creating change by being the change. So choose change this week. Choose what helps you rest, what helps you rejuvenate, which helps you be your best self, and choose to let the rest go. Once again, we get very fixated on the how. How am I going to do this? How am I going to build this? What's going to happen next? They're just like, let it all go. Live in the wings. So once again, they showed me this visual of angel wings coming in around you and holding you completely. Now, can you imagine being held like that? Could you just give yourself one breath of that, where you just lean into that? You lean into those wings and you just fully let go. And trust, God has a plan for you. God has a plan for your life, and if you just let go, He could build it for you. If you just release, stop holding on to everything so tight, He'll build this for you. And that's what's so amazing and so incredible, because some of us, our hearts just instantly become full of pain because the thought of just being able to let someone else take the wheel is so unbelievable to us that we could deserve such love and such grace and such beauty and support is almost unfathomable for us, that the love brings out the hurt of where we didn't receive it before, where we thought it was impossible for us. And it's so beautiful because this outpouring of grief then happens. And we learn, wow, this is what I've been meant to be healing. Is this great wound of where I am not supported. This belief that I've held so long that I don't get to have what I need. This belief system that things aren't going to be okay, that I must prepare for the worst. And it's like this outpouring that happens when we start realizing you're safe now. You are. You just can't see it. You haven't let yourself believe it. And it's almost like you're so scared of letting yourself believe you're safe. It keeps you up at night. It keeps you stressed. It keeps you working. It keeps you nose to the ground instead of looking up and seeing the great vast view before you, the truth before you, because you're so fixated on the road. You're so fixated on that blade of grass. You're smelling, you're moving your nose to the ground. You only see the ground. You don't see there's a whole sky. There's a whole wide world around you. So they're showing me like what life could be like if you just lifted your head, if you just opened your eyes, if you let yourself expand your perspective from your limited belief to what is real. And it's so beautiful because God is showing up for you this week, okay, in a big way. And I start getting these chills all through my legs. Okay, so this is a confirmation that this is going to happen this week. God is going to show up for you and open your eyes because it has been too long. And now it is time for you to see clearly. No more waiting, no more back and forth. It's funny, no more Humpty Dumpty is what I just heard. So no more falling apart to be put back together again. You are whole. And they're showing me this last piece being put back in. You're whole, you're complete, you're loved, you're safe, and you can live now. And this is an epiphany for many of us. Many of us have felt that we cannot live free. There's always something in the way of you living a happy, fulfilling existence. Not anymore. Not anymore. You get to live that life. Once again, many of us have been living in our pasts. We've been believing we're still there. You're not there anymore. You are totally elevated. You are totally in a new space. You are a totally new person. In fact, you are so fully yourself now, more than you've ever been. And now all you have to do is give yourself permission to be all of yourself. But these wounds, they've spoken so loud, they've been so deeply scarred into you that you cannot even believe that that is possible. But it is. It's the truth staring you in the face. You are free. You are safe. And yes, you can be yourself and be loved for all of who you are. No more waiting. Okay, no more waiting. It's time to set yourself free. And they're showing me someone waiting on another person to give them this confirmation. So this is a message for a specific few of you. Where are you waiting on someone else to validate you're enough? Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your spouse, your partner. Maybe you're looking for love. Maybe you're looking for a romantic partnership. Whatever this is, where are you looking for that fulfillment in someone else? For someone else to validate you're okay, you're enough, you're safe. Stop outsourcing. Stop holding on, okay? And sadly, the reality for some of us is some of those people will never give us that. And they're kind of showing me we need to make our peace. Some of these people that we are looking for that validation from, they may never give it. So how can we let go of what we thought we needed to claim it for ourselves? Once again, there might be a release that happens this week around this, where we finally grieve that. And they're just showing me the closed door. Grieve that closed door, that door that is not open to you, that door that is not welcoming you as much as you want it. As much as you keep banging on that door, it will not open. It's time to let it be closed. It's time to let go of that possibility. And they're kind of showing me when you release this need to be approved by others, or this specific individual, or this, whatever this is for you, you set yourself free. And you finally turn your face towards those who already see you as enough, who already love you, who are already waiting for you to realize the potential of yourself. And the people who have been there all along that you failed to see, okay? Because once again, you've lived in this denial that these people could ever love you fully, because the person that you wanted to love you so badly couldn't give you that. It's impossible that anyone else could. But that is not the truth. That is not the truth, my friends. So look, turn your face towards the sun and see that love staring back at you, because it is there. You just have to look. You just have to let yourself believe it. So this is a huge step in the right direction this week when we start realizing where we've been running away from the unconditional love that is truly there, where we have been in self-denial, where we have denied ourselves the love that is actually there, where we have consistently repeated the story and gathered the evidence that we aren't good enough, we don't deserve, we aren't loved, and we're scattering that old story to the wind. And that's what they're showing me, is like these ashes that we're scattering to the wind, and it's blowing them away. These last remnants of hurt and grief and pain are going away. And now we get to live. Okay? You've always had this opportunity before you, but now you're making the choice to truly live. So, it's amazing. And I love this because this is so affirmed. So we have beheld, you are safe, you are beloved, you are vital to God and to those around you. So this week we're going to see how vital we are. Okay? So a lot of us have felt very small, very insignificant. I'm nothing. Meanwhile, you're doing all this work. You are showing up all the time. You are giving of your light, of yourself, of your gifts, of your talents. And even though some logical part of you knows this is big, what I do is a lot, and you're so tired from giving, and yet this belief system has not let you ever believe it's enough, ever believe it's significant enough, ever believe that what you have is enough. You've always had to improve. You've always had to give more. But this is a lie. So now we're being shown, no. You are vital. Now, this is the word that channeled, vital. It's not, you're needed today. I'll call you when I need you again. You are vital. You are needed. Okay? You are needed. And what you are doing is absolutely essential. So where have you been brushing off your efforts? Where have you been brushing off your gifts, your abilities, whatever they are? And once again, a lot of us are like, well, I don't do anything grand. Who said you had to? What if your ability, whatever that is, whatever gift you have, is enough? Well, I'm not out there saving the world. What if you are and you didn't know it? What if your vibration is enough? If you did not listen to my energy update about 3 weeks ago, please go do that. If this is resonating for you, please go back and listen to that. It was so amazing to remind us that we are enough. And we have to integrate this now. We are enough. Okay? So we have to deconstruct this very tight, limiting belief system we've had that we aren't. So how do we do that? We start recognizing even the smallest things about ourselves that are enough, that are beautiful, that are powerful, and start leaning into the other possibility. Well, what if I am not so bad? What if I'm actually pretty good at this? What if I do have gifts? What if I could do that? And they're even showing me a lot of us being hung up on this spiritual level of like, well, I'm not clairvoyant, or I'm not clairsentient. I don't have these gifts. Everybody does. You've just denied their existence. You've denied the possibility for you. And what you believe creates your reality, does it not? So if you've believed you've been so insignificant all your life, and you've built what you've built as you are, what do you think you could do if you changed that belief system and built from this foundation of belief that you are enough? Flip the script. Try it. Lean in. Get curious about who you could be if you believed. And that is what's so powerful, is this week we're going to try. We're going to try it. Oh, what if I did believe? What's it going to hurt me if I tried to believe? Okay? So keep your head up. And it's so funny because things might be hard right now. There might be some conflicting, warring energies within us. Because once again, they're showing me this tug of war, and this has been around for a while. This has been resonating for a few weeks, this tug of war. There's old belief systems and the new belief systems, and the old version of yourself and this new version of yourself. And it's like this conflict in you. So you're going to have to keep your head up, okay? And I love how they said this too shall pass. The strife and this confusion, okay? It's only going to last so long. It's temporary. But we have to keep choosing the bliss. We have to keep choosing the alternate perspective. That's the only way. We have to be willing to try. So once again, when confusion comes in, realign with your truth. Realign with your soul, with your heart. Go back to your body. Go, what is true and what is a lie? Okay? So they said everything is going to be all right. So when these stories get really loud, we might get very overwhelmed. We might feel defeated. We might feel so defeated by this belief system. So they're kind of showing me it really roaring up. You're not good enough. You're insignificant. You can't do this. Nothing works out for you. And if this happens, you have to let yourself surrender this. Okay? So once again, let go. Okay, this is happening for me. Not to me. This is happening for me to let go, to release this story for good, to choose what's the right choice for me now. So they said, have faith. Everything is going to be all right. And then right after, have joy. Eat well. Nourish to flourish. Paint. Live free. And I thought this was interesting because these are very specific. So what brings you joy? Specifically. And they're kind of showing me like food and creativity for a lot of us, okay? So what's going to make you feel your best? And once again, take things in 24-hour increments. So if you're someone, you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. I don't know what I'm going to do. Minimize it to the next 24 hours. What can you do in the next 24 hours? For some of us, it's going to be a focus on our health. Okay, well, if I can't control the future, what I can control is what I put into my mouth, right? What I can control is how I move my body, how I move through my day. So really minimize it to the small things. And every time you make a new choice, just like I was saying last week's energy update, every time you make a new choice, it makes a new energy happen. So choose joy. Every opportunity, okay? I can't control this right now, so I'm just going to be joyful anyway. I'm just going to keep changing my vibration. I'm going to work with what I can work with and do that. So eat well, nourish to flourish. I thought this was beautiful. So a lot of us are like, well, I can really work on my health right now. So do that. If your body's needing love, if your body's needing attention, give it to it. Love on your body, love on yourself, feed it well. And then create. So they're showing me like painting here. So being that artist of your life. How can I paint things? How can I create things? How can I flow, right? Painting is such a flowy experience. So how can you just let yourself create? Come back to the present moment. Live free, right? So every time something comes in and it makes you feel suppressed, that's your alarm bell for healing, to go, okay, this is where I need to break free. So anywhere you're feeling suppressed, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you have to hide yourself, any of that comes up, that is your calling to break free. So what specifically is making you feel stuck, and how can you break through this? Okay, how can you be free no matter what? So flow with the ever-flowing tapestry of all life has to offer. How amazing is this? So yeah, flow with life. Life is offering you everything every day. What do you want to experience? What do you want to be in? What's the vibe? You choose. And so many of us forget we have that power. Oh, if only this was this way, then I could feel this. What's stopping you from feeling that way right now? Just do it. Don't overthink it. Okay? Now, where we do need to start thinking twice is our stress. So the next portion here, think twice before offering yourself up to stress, to old stories, or to the past. Revive yourself and allow yourself to be reserved for respect, love, and freedom. Give to yourself now. What would it take for you to live free, to live happily? Make yourself unavailable to those who do not appreciate you. Notice bad habits and realize that you have reduced your appetite for pleasure. And ask yourself why. Why are you punishing yourself? See where you are in denial of life, of love, of pleasure, of play. Now is a time to review, release, and forgive. Okay, lots to unpack here. So, I love this so much. Think twice before offering yourself up to stressed old stories or the past. How powerful is this? So, it is an offering. Once again, they're really clarifying we have a choice. So are you offering yourself up to stress, going, here we go, I'll take it all? Are you making life more difficult than it needs to be? And where are you actually willingly participating in that energy? Okay, very important for us to step back and think about this. Where are you allowing yourself to become a victim to these things? Oh, I have all this stress, I have all these things on my plate. I can't change because whenever I've tried, it never works out. The repeat, the cycle, okay? No. You are not a victim anymore. It's time to be the leader of your life. So it is time to stand up. It is time to go, no, I'm not available for this anymore. And the power that comes through when you have such respect for yourself. So once again, we're getting this awakening to ourselves, our abilities, to how we are loved, how we are enough. And the minute we start believing this, it shifts your whole reality because you're making completely different choices. So another question to ask yourself this week is like, if I believed I was enough, if I believed I was worthy, what choice would I make? So every scenario that comes up this week, how can you start stepping into the person who does believe they are enough, that they are worthy, that they are deserving, that they are safe? What choices would you make differently? And make that different choice. And the respect that builds from that choice is amazing. It's tenfold. So they're kind of going like, well, I would ask for that promotion. I would ask for more support. I would ask for delegation. I would ask for this. I would make this decision. I would take this risk because I know I'm safe, right? So it's like all these ways that we've been holding ourselves back just get liberated. It's like gone. Amazing. And we start reserving ourselves for the things that actually matter. So your energy starts being delegated completely differently. Your energy is going to the things that build you up. So they're like, reserve yourself for respect, for love, and for freedom. You're no longer giving yourself so frivolously. You're no longer delegating your energy out or divvying your energy out to all the things that don't matter. You're saving that energy for where it really needs to go. What a difference. So you're giving to yourself. And that's the whole next thing. You're giving to yourself now. Okay? And you're asking these questions. What would it take for me to live happy, to be free? And then you start putting your energy there. Well, this makes me happy, so I'm going to put more focus here. I'm going to prioritize this. Wow, what a shift. Okay? So make yourself unavailable to those who don't appreciate you. So it's pretty funny because they're like, something instantly might come to your mind. Wow, I'm so not appreciated there. These people actually don't give two hoots about me and what I do. This situation doesn't serve me. I don't feel valued. So why are you putting all this energy there? And they're kind of showing me this profound sense of duty that comes in, like this pressure, and it's draped right over your shoulders. This big energy of, well, I need to be putting 100% into this. Okay. And maybe this is this very strong work ethic. Okay. So they're kind of showing me that, where we really care, as an example, about our job. Okay. Our 9 to 5. But in the end, maybe it's not what we're passionate about, but we're putting so much there that we've got nothing left for anywhere else. The spots that actually do matter to us, the things that we're passionate about, because we're so fixated on doing a good job where we are, that all the energy's there. So they're kind of going like, where can you step back a little? Where can you delegate a little? Where can you make things easier on yourself and realize that you are enough even when you do that? And they're kind of showing me that you'll actually be better at your job when you do that. They're like, there'll be more ease and grace. There'll be more space for you to grow and to feel good at what you're doing. So they're like, once again, this is all imaginary. This whole belief system is imaginary. You're not working hard enough. You're not showing up enough. You need to go above and beyond. And they're like, actually, when you retract, people start to value you more, because they're like, oh my gosh, they start realizing how much you do, how much you do give. Respect comes in a lot more easier. Oh my gosh, I don't want to lose this person. I got to reward them. I got to show them how valuable they are to me. See the difference? So remove this pressure that you have self-inflicted. Okay? You have inflicted this upon yourself, this profound sense of duty, honor, work, and stress. Find this proper balance. Okay, so a lot of us are going to be stepping back in areas where we're realizing we're just giving too much, and we're allowing ourselves to be enough where we are. And it's beautiful. So make yourself unavailable to things that don't appreciate you. So this is pretty cut and dry. So there are certain things you're going to have to cut off. So maybe it's going to be these situations or these people that we're looking to for approval. If they don't see your value, they might never see it. And once again, can you allow that painful truth to settle and let yourself grieve it, but move on? Because you can't hold yourself back anymore. You can't keep waiting for something that might never happen. You have to live your life. You have to be happy now, because that is what you deserve, my friend. So stop waiting. They're showing me someone pulling someone along, like, come on, come with me. And this person's like, I don't want to. I don't want to go that journey with you. And some of us have to just stop and let go and go, okay, I'm going to stop dragging you. I'll let you go your path, because you cannot force someone to love you the way you need to be loved. Have those conversations if you need to. But know when it is time to let go. So let go of control. So they're kind of showing me this awareness to bad habits. Okay? So this is what comes next. And one of these bad habits is specifically mentioned: a reduced appetite for pleasure. So fascinating. So where have you not been enjoying yourself? Where has pleasure just become non-existent for you in your life? And where are you just like, life is arduous, life is a pain in the butt, life never gets better, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Like, they're just kind of showing me this extreme exhaustion because your needs have not been met for so long that your attitude is just gone left field. Because it's like, that's all you've known is just the arduous toil. So yeah, Absolutely. But why do you keep putting yourself in that space? So they're kind of going like, think about this. Why are you here? Why are you so miserable? Why have you created your own personal hell? Right? We talked about this last week. Did you create your personal heaven or did you create your personal hell? So notice the habits you have. Notice the daily choices, the things you are doing, maybe totally unconsciously to yourself. So one of these things they're showing me is like reaching for bad food. Food that's not nourishing you, food that's not good for you, food that is really messing up your system. And you keep reaching for it because it's your only joy, it's your only comfort. But why do you need that? And why have you reduced your only joy and comfort to food? Okay, this is one example. Or a bad relationship. Why do you keep going there when you know it's not good for you? It's a temporary high, right? So they're like, get rid of it. Why do you need this? This isn't overly fulfilling in the long term. So notice these bad habits and realize where this pleasure in your life has become non-existent. It's been saved for special occasions. Okay, so a reduced appetite for pleasure. Why? Okay, another example of where this might be showing up even physically is this reduced sex drive. Maybe you have no desire. So what do you think that's telling you? Okay, where have you no desire in your life? Where have you no joy, no pleasure, no play, no fun? So, in turn, why are you punishing yourself? Why are you not allowing yourself to let go? Okay? So, things we need to think about. Where are you self-punishing? Because when you deny yourself pleasure, when you deny yourself love, when you deny yourself fun and play and surrender, you are punishing yourself because you absolutely can be living that life. But you're not letting you live that life. So where are you in denial of life itself, of love, of pleasure, of play? Okay? So review, release, and forgive. So this is interesting. We're going to have to review. We're going to have to take stock of what's got us to this point where I believe I don't deserve pleasure or play. So this is big sacral chakra energy. This is where those blocks are going to be. Your inner child, okay? So looking at the sacral chakra this week is very, very important because that has everything to do with our pleasure, our play, our dreams, our ability to receive, all of these things. So what is blocking the flow? Okay? So if you're getting any issues there in the sacral chakra, sexuality, all of those things, any of those functions, it's time to look a little deeper. So review, where did this come from? What's the story I have that says I don't get to have this? Okay? Release it. Okay, it's time to release. So they're showing me this big release that happens when we finally let this go. We let go of the story that we don't get to have good in our lives. That's what's really coming up here. I don't get good because I'm not good. I'm not a good enough person. Right? Wherever the story came from, I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not good enough. I don't get to deserve any of these things. And they're kind of giving me this really sad story that a lot of us have in our mind. Well, if I'm not 100% beautiful or fit or that projection of beauty that we're given, I don't deserve love. Who would love me? My body is not nice. It's not perfect enough. It's not fit enough. So who would love me? Right? Whoa. That's very limiting. That is so harsh and so critical and so not true. There are tons of people who would love you just as you are, but you have written that possibility off for yourself because, oh, I'm not this standard of beauty. And maybe that's totally just your perspective, because maybe someone else is looking at you going, I would kill for your body. Like, you are beautiful. But we don't see it, right? So this is where we're so blinded by our own stories that we refuse to let ourselves move forward. Well, I can't ever be with another person again because then they'll have to see my body. And I'm not in the same shape I was 10 years ago. Oh my Lord. Can you just rock it? Can you just flow with it? Can you just own yourself? Right? So they're just showing me this total shift that needs to transpire, where it's like, what if you never are that standard of beauty? And to be honest, who could be? All right? Who could match that standard of beauty that a lot of us have these days without completely changing yourself? So with that being said, they're like, where do you need to be enough now? Where do you need to tell your body, you're enough now? You're beautiful just as you are. And we're going to experience all there is to experience in this life. So they're showing me this take back of pleasure, this take back of power, this take back of play, of goodness, because we're finally willing to take it. We're finally willing to release those horrible stories we've told ourselves all our lives. And it's beautiful. So then the next step, forgive. So review, release, forgive. Forgive. You're going to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not being perfect. That's the big one. That's the general one that all of us need to forgive. Forgive yourself for where you're not perfect. Okay? Give yourself a little grace. No one can be perfect. No one can fit that standard. No one. So just be you and let you be enough. So be in your pleasure-filled feminine. Drunk on life, not despair. Then you will know the secret, the balance in all things. All right, now this is so phenomenal. So when we let ourselves be in our feminine energy, in our flowing, our receptive energy, life takes a whole new meaning. We finally are free. And I love it because they're like, overindulge, be drunk on life. So how can you be so indulgent in your life, in every sensation, in every feeling, in every experience? So they're showing me this romanticizing of life. Like, how can you just make life so extra sensory that everything is just an absolute joy to be in, right? And I love it because they're like, you're going to experience the opposite sometimes, and that's the beautiful braid of life. Despair, happiness, joy, all those things braid together. So how can we be in the full spectrum? Okay? But it's time to get indulgent on life, not displeasure, because that's what we've really fixated on most of our lives, is the displeasure, the annoyance, the frustration, the things that don't resonate. We've really just fixated on that rather than the opposite. So now it's time to change. And they showed me, like, this is the balance that's been lacking. So this is the secret, finding the balance of life. Yes, there's hardship, but that doesn't have to be everything, right? Yes, there might be things that you want to fix, correct, change. There always will be. But how can you balance it with the good? How can you give yourself the reward you deserve? Right? So once again, we keep looking to other people to give us what we need. No. You give yourself what you need. And once more, this changes the trajectory of your life. So inner recognition is essential. And when we do this, this equals the outer recognition as well. So they're really showing us, once again, where we've been in self-denial and how this has projected out into our reality. You have been denied, okay? Because you've been unwilling to receive. So the minute you change that, I am willing to receive, I am willing to give to myself, I am willing to have help. Well, what happens? The story changes. The vibration you emit changes, and that's what the universe begins to bring to you. Oh, she's open now. Great. Funnel that help in. Funnel that goodness in, because she's willing. She's finally open to having it. So opportunities just show up at your door. Okay, that's what they're kind of showing me, is like you open the door to finally being willing to receive, and it's like boom, 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 boom. There's all the opportunities. There's all the help. There's all the things you needed. And they're showing me the universe is lining this up for you. So once again, divine intervention is coming, because this is the time now for us to finally say goodbye to this terrible belief that has restricted us, that has blinded us, that has made us stay so small, that now the world becomes big. Because we're no longer nose to the ground. Our faces are turned up towards the sun. And we can finally see it. We can finally see the goodness. Not just the dirt, not just the mud, not just the path, the road. We're seeing the journey. We're seeing the big wide universe and how it is ours. It's so beautiful. So in ending this reading, it's like, believe. Have value. You are more than you ever thought you could be. It's so, so beautiful. So from here, we're getting this complete 360 shift. Okay? And we're finding that we're releasing the anxieties, we're releasing the worries, we're allowing ourselves to get curious again. So once again, this huge focus on the sacral chakra, the inner child. It wants to play. It's like, I just want to be free. I just want to be me. And you're not letting me. So we're finally letting our inner child play, have fun, laugh, right? And we start releasing this fear of losing out. We start releasing this fear of loss. Okay, because this is the other one that's really coming up big this week, is we're starting to heal this wound. Okay, by being yourself and being loved for all of who you are, you start releasing this belief system of lack, of missing out, of almost like, once again, punishment. Because for a lot of us, we punish ourselves for everything we don't do well, every mistake. And once again, it's almost like the hammer drops. So they're just showing me, once again, we're so hard on ourselves. We're our own punisher, you know? So they're like, we're releasing this fear now as we start transcending this. So there's a subconscious fear of loss. So don't be afraid if that comes up this week, where you're like, I'm going to lose all this goodness. Because that can happen. When we start leaning into the goodness, that little irrational thought might come in. What if this doesn't last? Don't trust this good because it never ends well. All of that is going to come to the surface. So once again, be very mindful of these stories and realize that, no, I don't have to believe this anymore. I can build my dream. I can build my life authentically, because those voices are going to want you to shut down again, are going to want you to retract, are going to want you to go back into your shell instead of living free. So we have to be very cognizant of these stories. We have to be very cognizant of what these things are telling us and to choose differently. So how are we going to get the support in doing this? Reach out to others with the same goal. Okay, so this is really coming up. So once again, when we're building this dream, we need to surround ourselves with people of like mind, people who have the same goals, which is ultimately love, freedom, beauty. So they're showing me there's two choices here. There's going to be people that will come into your life and be like, yes, I'm going to help you build your dream for a price. And then there's going to be people that come into your life where I'm going to help you be yourself, live your dream, be who you are. I love you all the way for free because I love you. Okay? So it's very important that we choose our friendships and the people we're going to be with wisely. So there's a bit of a warning here of this get rich quick thing. Okay? So we might have thoughts that come in this week. So what I channeled here was reaching out to others with the same goal. Not get rich quick, but substance, joy, fun. Surround yourself with those who build light and love. For joy must be your foundation. So I love this. So this beautiful side message, okay? You need to be creating this new foundation, founded not on the past, not on what you think your value is, but what you know it to actually be. You have to start shifting your foundation. So once more, what did we have? We had this amazing reminder to remove and become completely unavailable to those who do not appreciate you, who do not see your value, and to selectively choose people who do. This is the guidance this week. So be very picky this week on the path you choose. Am I building this authentically? Am I free to be myself? Am I in joy? Am I in bliss? Am I in the goodness? And am I surrounding myself with people who feel the same? Okay? So release all pressure, because they're really showing me this money story wants to come in big time, because all of us are like, I want to have money. Well, why do you want to have money? It's to make you free. So I can do what I want. Okay, remove money from the equation this week. Just do what you want. Do what you want. Don't let money be an obstacle. Don't let money stand in the way. Once again, what do we view money as? Oh, it equals my worth. It doesn't. Money does not equal your worth. So we need to reframe. So what loving guidance this week, because this is helping us look at every direction of our lives and going, where have I been totally misguided in how I view myself, in how I value myself, and how can I once more reframe the story? So allow yourself to become selective. Allow yourself to reframe. Be willing to see a new perspective and remove money from the equation. Okay? So your goal, if it has to do with money, if it has to do with building this financial empire, it's time to let go of the obsession of money and realize that when you are in the vibration of receiving, when you are willing to be given to, when you are willing to flow, this automatically opens the doors for more income, because that is what money represents: support, freedom, value. So if you are not receiving support, freedom, or value, maybe you're not receiving money either. So how can we change the flow? Are you willing to flow, or are you very rigid? Are you holding on too tight? Have you been letting money flow to you? Right? So that once again, this amazing perspective shift that comes in, and we have to remember the energetics, right? If I am safe, then I am safe. If I believe I'm good enough, I am enough. If I have enough, I have enough. So create the new story and watch as miracles happen. And make sure you are choosing the right people to stand beside you that reflect this mindset, that help you see this mindset, that help open your eyes and perspective to your ability, to your worth, to how much you are loved. Okay? Leave behind the rest. There's no time to waste. Okay? Like, they're really making me feel this urgency around release whatever is making you feel not good enough. Let it go. It's now time. It's time to be free. And just imagine who you'll be when you do this. When you see You've been love all along. Whew, getting chills. So friends, let love be your foundation. Not fear, not disrespect, not lack. Joy, beauty, love, support. Let that be your foundation for life now. Because that, my friend, is what you deserve. Sending you all the love in the world this week. I hope this reading resonated for you. If it did, drop a comment below. Send me a message. I love hearing from you. And have the best week ever, my friends. Bye-bye.